Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
2024 Rec Advisory Board meeting to order. We will start with public comment if we have any. We gotta just bring some people in so we have some sometime. No public comment? Anyone?
Do you have a mic for public comment?
No, we could find one. They could use mine.
Do you need one? I have a mic on it.
All right, so if we could, for Joanna, for the record to begin with, why don't we go down, everybody just state your name if you hold any positions within the board, and we also have a new member that we'd like to welcome, and thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you. Jen, if you want to get us started.
Jen Harrington, board member.
Bryn Sullivan, board member.
Mike Whistler, board member.
Stephanie Papakostendis, board chair.
Nick Norden, board member.
Rachel Adams Ledoux, board alternate.
Bob Dudra, board member.
I'm Nancy Belanger. I'm the select board representative in place of Molly Connor this evening.
And then we're also joined by, obviously, Joanna, thank you. We're joined by Melissa.
Melissa Roy,
As well.
Assistant Town
And Greg.
Manager. Greg Bison, Exeter Parks and Recreation Director.
David Tovey, Assistant Director.
Caroline Neal, recreation coordinator.
Excellent. All right, so no public comment, guys. We have, and I don't know if you received them, Greg was good enough to send out minutes to the last 3 meetings. We did not have enough to approve them last time, so did everybody have the opportunity to go through the minutes to check and see if they were accurate? Everyone did, so I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes for, let's see, 9/26/23.
I move to approve the minutes of 9/26/23.
Any second?
I second.
All right, those are approved. I will entertain a motion for approval of the minutes for 10/24/23.
I move to approve the minutes from 10/24/23.
Second?
Why don't you guys do it tonight?
I second.
There you go.
Approved. And final motion to approve the minutes for February 20th, 2024 meeting.
I move to approve the minutes from February 24.
I second.
Excellent. All minutes approved. Moving on up. All righty.
Is that your phone?
Yeah, Karen's phone is there.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Sharon. All right, so we're moving on to our recap. Greg, do you want to take us through the
Yes.
recap points?
Autonomous equipment has been approved by the select board. Thank the select board. We are in the process of getting all the paperwork for the autonomous mowers. We're getting 7 of them. 4 will be located at the rec park. 2 will be at Brickyard, and the 7th will be our spare in case one goes down, which they shouldn't. But we can expand it to another place if we have the opportunity to down the line. The robot mower, the robot paint liner is ready to roll. So we're excited. We have already come into agreement with Exeter Youth Soccer and Youth Lacrosse to line their fields, because as you remember, our field liner had retired and they were left without someone, and the private company was gonna gouge everyone with their tiny mobile robot. So we're excited that we're gonna be able to offer a revenue source for our parks department to offset the cost of the mowers and the field liner.
Did you say that we already put together an agreement with UISA and lacrosse, or we're in the process of doing it?
We're in the
right now?
process, but we're pretty much understanding. They just have to get me their field, what fields they want lined.
Okay.
Yep.
And I had one more question as well.
Sure.
On the mowers and liners. You had mentioned having a seventh in case one of them breaks down.
Yep.
Should one of them break down, what's the turnaround time on that for them to fix it, given the cost of it?
Couple days.
Okay,
Yeah, because remember, these mowers mow every day.
right.
So, and it's really, if anything, it's more stuff to allow us to swap one out to just change the blades.
Right.
Clean it up. One of the things we should do probably monthly is just take air to it and blow off. They don't want you dousing it with water. It is an electronic robot. So, even though it can mow in the rain, but you want to, on the underside, it does get some buildup. But remember, it's cutting micro fractions, so we're not going to have like last year when we tried mowing our lawns and there's this big clump of grass coming out of our mowers. This will prevent that from happening. So it's exciting. This will be a big lift that we'll be able to maintain the infields a little bit more, do some other park maintenance projects around the park while they're the mowing, and we're going to be able to do it early morning, and so it should be completed by the time the guys come in at 7 a.m. And
Is part of purchasing those going to have them mapped prior to us getting them?
they're
Or
actually
they
going to come over and help us map them.
Okay, and
Yeah.
have that done before
Hey,
they
yeah.
even come in and sit?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
it's a
never
nice
mind.
customer service perk. They're going
That's
to come
good.
over and help set them up
That's
and then make sure everything's all mapped to our liking. And Seacoast Power Equipment has been great to work with so far, so we're really excited.
You guys have any questions on or discussion points on the equipment update?
Nope.
All right, great. And playground subcommittee.
Well, for those that just came in, we had our first official kickoff meeting for the Plan and Playground Subcommittee. We're going to examine site amenities and look at the overall design, but really focus on how we can make the site better. I think we have a very good mix of rec advisory board members and the general public. We're excited, and as we've mentioned, we've made the next phase. We haven't been awarded LWCF, but we have made it to the next phase. So fingers crossed, by fall, the governor and executive council will get it from the National Park Service and sign off on it, and then estimated construction demo spring of 2025. But that's it. That's our first, and we're gonna, obviously, if those are heard, we're having a site walk in a couple weeks.
Any discussion points on Plan and Playground, or move on, guys?
Yeah, it's more of a curiosity question, if anything from the existing playground is going to be salvaged, or if it's a complete demo.
No, we actually talked about doing, getting volunteers to come out and actually demo and then repurposing some of it, either as arts installations or incorporate into anything that we build for site amenities. So, we want to do an homage to the past and move forward to the future. So it's going to be a nice mix, and
Yep.
the less stuff, Nick, that can go in landfill, the better. And there's some sentimental value went to all these things as well. Like, I wouldn't throw away any of the pickets. I'd probably hold on to them until I track down every family that got it. So there's a great opportunity there to reuse, and I think Bryn brought it up during the meeting, be a little more sustainable.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Thanks, Greg.
you're welcome.
Any other questions on Plan Playground? All right, we will move on to Dave Caring, United Way.
Yeah, United Way reached out to me about a month ago, wanted to select Exeter again as a site for their Earth Day United Day of Caring on April 19th. I have more details coming out, but we're focusing on the rec park, as you know, and we'll get to it. The trees were removed, so we're gonna just beautify as much as we can before construction starts, not putting a lot of money into it, but there's some wood chips that still need to be raked up. If we're gonna mow, there's some rocks that were put down a number of years ago that we want to remove, and just plant some very cheap grass, just because it will become a dust bowl with summer camp. So we just want to beautify it and possibly do some other things, finish the staining of the dugouts, do another spring cleanup before softball season starts. I mean, there's an opportunity, we got, last time we did it with them last spring or fall, we had about 20 people at Kids Park, and we moved 40 yards of park, playground chips and replanted benches, redid the sandbox. I mean, they come to work, and all we have to do is supply rakes and gloves. So it was really good time.
Can other volunteers, or is that
Yeah.
just a?
No,
United-
other volunteers,
okay.
so they will send a registration out, so if anyone's around on April 19th, you can sign up and come and help
Is that a
out as
weekend?
well. It's a
Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
All right. Any questions on Day of Caring, everyone? All right, tennis court repairs.
Kind of tennis court repair and update. The upper courts are open to play. They're not the most beautiful because we still have to do painting, so let's the warm weather come. We need it above 50 degrees at night, so we can get in there and finish the repairs, but they don't estimate it taking very long once they get in there. And we just need the warm weather. But so we opened up the upper courts to allow people to still play tennis and pickleball. So they are open. The lower courts are still closed though.
Are you good on tennis courts?
I was over there today, and I have to compliment the tree cutting. It looks a lot cleaner.
It's wide
Oh,
open, isn't it?
And wide
Bob?
open. It looks good, so.
It's a little
good job.
jarring when you first go up there. You're like, whoa, where's
No, it's
the,
nice.
the big?
Courts.
And if anyone, and we'll just segue right into tree removal. So they were done a couple weeks ago, and we were able to contract a contractor to come in and stump grind all of them, which was great. He gave a huge municipal discount. It was $725 for 5 stumps.
Wow.
Great.
I had it done at my house for 2, and it was $1,200.
Yeah.
So,
Do ours.
and he came in and was done in 2.5 hours.
That's great.
Then our guys then took our Kubota, took all the wood, as much of the wood chipping away, just to get rid of the piles, and put it in the back of the pool area where we have poison ivy. Yep. Just to get, kind of fill it in and try to smother it out. So, it was a great effort. I mean, we were there, and then we're actually working, we're going to dig, and we're actually doing a soil test, because if anyone knows, there were pines around there. So the acidity, if we want to get grass, we want to make sure if we have to add some lime, we'll add some lime to it. But it's been a big improvement, and I got to give kudos. Will Curtis, who is a local tree company, posted something on social media about taking an ash tree down on Swayze, and someone's like, well, is this the same reason why the playground trees were taken down? And he goes, actually, yes, it was, because they were diseased and structurally unsound. So for the safety of our patrons and everyone going there, and the facility, that's the last thing we want to do is
Right.
a big tree coming down and smashing it. They did it about 15 years ago, and we had to do an extensive repair to plant a playground. But glad to got that done. But it was a very exciting day to watch, because they had to get a crane, and the pile of logs that were at the rec park was, people were like, how many trees did you actually take down? Because it was ginormous. So
I'll have to get up there and see that.
Yeah.
Did Will Curtis do the stump grinding?
nope. It was a stump grinder out of Deerfield. That came
Trying
in.
to get the name.
Yeah.
Oh, Will lives up the road from me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right, guys, any questions on the tree removal of the courts or playground? We are moving along tonight. Field request update.
I have to say, our first year, spring so far, knock on wood, has been very great to work with baseball, softball, and soccer in the field request. To the point, actually, baseball paid with a credit card right away when they got the invoice. So I was like, even more excited. It definitely opened up and allowed us to really look at the snapshot. I think the days of people bulk reserving fields are over.
Good.
So now we can actually see what holes to fill in and what we have true availability. They're all on the website now, so all of them are in
Good.
there. So you can see if there's any field availabilities for anyone that's still looking.
Where would you look under the, like, where?
If you go under our calendar on the online portion of it, and you can search by facility, either softball field or soccer. When you look, you'll see it's very unique where if it's a soccer field reserved, you'll see on a counterpoint, the softball field is unavailable.
Okay.
So we make sure we post it at both sides of it, so people don't say, oh, well, all right, the softball field's open. Well, no, actually, there's a soccer game going on. We don't want that happening. To the point where actually youth softball has relocated their T-ball program up to the rec park now instead of using Park Street Common, which actually frees it up for us because exciting news is our baseball T-ball numbers are exploding.
Oh, that's great.
To the point where we outgrew Gilman and needed to have some games at Park Street. Not ideal, but it'll function for this year until we come up with a new schedule, a better schedule.
Good news for baseball.
Yeah, there's, Caroline, how many for?
68 for the little kids and 56 for the older kids, and we still have 2 weeks to go in registration,
Nice.
so.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Quick question too on field requests. Right now, there's some openings on the calendar. Is there a deadline for tiered leagues and teams to get their dates on the calendar for it to open up to non-lower tier?
For the spring, you can get it in now. It's per first come, first serve now.
Okay,
'Cause
so-
the tier
so the-
two, the tier two all got their
Tier
request
two's
in.
all got theirs?
Yep. Where the summer, I think the deadline is, then we tear, it's,
I'd have to
summer
check.
request is later this spring, so, the time for the tier two still have to get it in for the All-Stars.
What questions do you guys have for field request update, if any? All right. Neptune Radio, Dave, I think you are up.
Yeah, so we started looking into this more. In their proposal, they mentioned music licensing. And so I started asking questions. There's 4 major companies that do music licensing. And if you get caught playing an artist's song that you should have that music license, you could get a hefty fine. And Neptune covers 2 of the major 4. I've reached out to the other 2 and have heard back from 1 so far. And they gave us their quote for 7 months. I tried to work with them. We only need this for 3 months out of a year. They said they would do a June to the end of the year. Now, the town could use that music license for any other event too, so it's not a bad thing. And it did bring their fee down a little bit. That was $338.92 for the 7 months. I'm still waiting to hear back from the 4th. So just estimating if that's similar to their fee, that's over $700 that we weren't anticipating. So there are some unexpected fees, and it'll take us 2 years. On our 3rd year, we would make a little bit of a profit, and then after that, we're really only looking at like $500 per year. However, we're at the point now where we kind of need to get the music licensing because we got to play music at the pool. I mean, if it's like, it just kind of adds to the whole experience and everything. So
And now that we're on their radar,
that too.
that's the last thing we want is the town to get a cease and desist and a fine
Right.
from one of these licensing companies.
Yeah.
The other thing in your budget, it also includes buying equipment.
Yes.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't think you mentioned that.
Right. Yeah. So we looked into the equipment more, and We found some great speakers and amps. We got a surge because also we were working with IT on, do we do Bluetooth, do we do wired? And wired is definitely preferred, and you'll get, it won't be in and out like with Bluetooth sometimes you get. We had to add a surge protector, so if lightning does strike, because these speakers would be on the fence around, it would just follow that wire. So a few more things we didn't anticipate. So some more expenses, but we're looking at doing the tier 1, which is 4 sponsors at $600 a sponsor. They get the professionally produced radio ad. They can take that ad and use it on their website or social media. They have all the rights to it. Neptune told me that's about $150 production value. They can put a banner at the pool. Their ad is going to be played for 3 months, every hour, I think it is. So they're going to get a lot of recognition down at the pool. So to me, it seems like, or to us, it seems like a really good deal for that $600. I'm sure we'd be able to sell those 4. And yeah, like I said, after a few years, start making some money and protecting the town from any sort of trouble that we'd get into. So that's about it. I'm still waiting to hear back, though, from that other company. We're hoping to get that quote from them and then present it to the select board on April 1st, if not the next meeting after that, because we want to start visiting businesses to ask them if they'd like to join.
Mike?
I had a couple questions on that. First, do we need as our board, a motion to be a proponent of accepting the additional costs?
Yes, because eventually we will have to go, of course, to the select board to get approval because of the advertising that it's similar to the sponsorships. It's going to be similar to that. So we need their board approval to be able to solicit.
I
said
would
sponsor.
recommend, and your thoughts on it, that we wait until we get the actual amount so that we can put the actual amount once you hear
Yep.
of that, and then definitely, and then we can come with a motion ready to go, and then just plug in that additional amount.
And my second question is, when that system is set up, is there any way that a camper, camp counselor, an employee at the snack shack can get their own playlist going on that thing where we could get in trouble with rights of music? Or is there any protection to that?
So like if they like plug their phone in and
If an employee plays Spotify, your music rights is covering it.
Yep. Yeah.
What if it's not Spotify?
And it
What if
doesn't
it's
matter. If
their
you turn on the
playlist?
radio, if you play Spotify, if you play any music, if you pull out a tape deck and press your favorite
But it-
Madonna song,
so-
it's covered by the music license.
Okay, so if Johnny gets his playlist playing over this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole point of these music licenses, is they cover all, and that's why you need these 4. Same thing with movie licenses, and it covers every.
And,
Yeah.
and the other point of that would be that I would just hope that it wouldn't be that Johnny can plug in his rap music playlist.
Yeah, it would be secure. It would not,
Well, and
yeah.
also too, where you're not Bluetooth, it's probably a little more secure where it's
Right.
If you were
Yeah.
Bluetooth, it'd probably be a one
And
bed.
when I say Johnny, I refer to my kid.
And the system does allow us to expand further when we possibly could put speakers around Planet Playground and call it Exeter Parks and Rec Radio and do a lot of advertising on there, and then go to a higher tier to get more revenue to actually up that. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless to
Right.
bring in revenue.
I think it's a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
setup.
me too.
Does the library or any other city department have a music license already?
The town does pay for the ASCAP music licensing, which is also covered by Neptune.
Got it.
Yeah.
Would you, if you guys buy all of these music licenses, it would be for the town, so like the library could use it, or if you're hosting something at the old town hall and you're hosting,
Yes.
any department could
Yeah.
potentially
Yep.
have access to
Yeah.
these rights.
Yep. The town would hold the license.
The towns,
so,
therefore,
Yep.
anyone could use it.
Yes.
So
And I asked today too a question, like one of the BMI is one of them. And I said,
Yeah.
could you just tell me what songs are covered under you, and we'll just play those songs. And the guy's like, yeah, here's all our songs. It's like 40,000 something songs. Like, good luck going through it all.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
So that was my question. So you have to have all 4 licensed to make sure that you're covered.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't just say, oh, I just want to play what's on Spotify
Right.
or what.
I asked that to
Okay.
Neptune
It
because they
becomes
covered
tricky.
2, and I asked them. I said, "Let's just do the 2 that you do," and that's not how they do it. They play every song that's out there.
Yeah.
They don't filter it by
And
their
you, in theory,
licenses.
want to be able to hire a DJ
Yep.
for a special event. Even like a senior supper club and a DJ is playing music, you're now covered
Okay.
for whatever playlist the DJ wants to play, or you host a dance. You know, so now everything is covered, and you wouldn't have to worry that, oh, this DJ we hired played whatever song.
Right.
So, and then the other thing is, I didn't know if the licensing, if you were to be the lead sponsor of something like a beer fest, and there's also another sponsor like a chamber, because who would it be if you were the lead sponsor and you played music? Would that event be able to be covered? I guess I was just like the layers of.
Right. That. Yeah, it's a good
That's
question.
also like we can move it out of the pool budget and into the rec budget, because if it's covering more than just the pool, then the pool shouldn't be absorbing the cost.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like where, how could you divide it up?
Right.
But yeah, I was just wondering if there's any layers to this if you're not the 100% owner of the event. And not that they would ever know. You're going to get an invoice once a year and they would never know, but it's the what if, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, I wrote that down, so we'll definitely ask that.
Yeah, because you would want, if you ever decided to not have like live music or something, and you were playing music at a big special event in the city streets, and you were co-hosting this.
Yeah.
You're covered, right?
Right.
I ask with a question mark.
We will find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just curious.
But yeah, that's what basically they said. Like, it's great for the town to have, because if you hold other events, you're covered. So
Yeah.
But a co-sponsored event like the Powder Keg, that's a good question.
Fine, but yeah.
As long as one of us has it, I would think.
Right, I think so.
Yeah.
At the end of December, does the hardware come down? Or if it doesn't, how durable is it during the winter months?
No, we would take down the speakers. We're not
Okay.
gonna leave outdoor speakers out all winter. Let's say my crew has very good experience in taking speakers down when their previous employer. So, yeah. And then we would actually take the receiver and actually store it in our building, so it doesn't get super cold.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We do that for all our electronics at the pool. We even did that this year with our chemical controllers.
Any other questions, guys, or discussion points? These are really good points. Thank you for bringing them up. Anything else on that, team? All right, let us know when that goes through. We'll make sure, next meeting, we'll come in with a motion ready to go.
Yep.
And we can plug in numbers or just hold it off till the next meeting.
Okay.
Sound good?
Will do.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody else can figure out the motion.
Put that on Dan again, right? So we are going to move on to discussion items. How are we doing on seasonal hiring, camp counselors as well as lifeguards?
Good. I have a couple interviews lined up for some counselors this week. So looking pretty good. Have a couple more spots to fill. Yeah.
How are we doing on numbers for camp? I'm blown away that teen camp blew up this year.
I
It's
had
so
to
great.
close registration because we have like 273 campers, and I'm like, I need to get staff before I allow anyone else.
Camp's back, baby.
Yes, camp is back, sports are back, everything's back.
Yeah.
So great.
Same with the lifeguards. We have a few spots to fill, and I have another interview coming up this week or early next week. And I had one good one with an older gentleman, like a little bit older than me, and so it was a surprise. Like usually it's high school and college kids, but I felt really good about the interview. So we're just waiting till we get through all these interviews too. But But yeah, they're coming in slowly but surely. Should be all set for swim lessons and.
We were getting nervous for a while.
It's tough right now for you guys,
sugarcoat
for
it.
sure.
It was,
Yeah.
And the ones that you're interviewing and hiring, are you still going to be training on site, or are we at a point where they need to come in and be certified already because of
No,
the timeframe?
we partner with Phillips Exeter Academy to hold a lifeguard certification class, and we're actually advertising that to the public if anyone wants to take it.
When is that running?
It is the end of May. I want to say the 28th, right after Memorial Day, that Tuesday, through June 4th.
What days a week? Is it
it's 5 days straight.
It's
Kinda.
we had it Tuesday through Friday, and then someone told me that Friday is prom, so we may not get to do it on Friday, but I build in extra time, and then we take the weekend off and then come back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday
great.
from 3 to 6. So it's after school times. But yeah, that partnership with PA has been great. So.
and
Yep,
what's the
so-
cost for those certifications, Dave? Do you know?
We did $250 for residents, I think, and $275 for non-residents, which is a steal.
It's a steal.
If you look at other places, it can be
$600.
like $350, $400. If you are hired by us, you come work for us, you don't have to pay for the class. So it's just another incentive we use to try and recruit people. We have some flyers. We've been posting it all on social media for both counselors and lifeguards. So we're just pushing it a little bit harder now. And Indeed has been helpful as well, too. So
Does that include CPR certification as well, or is that
the
separate?
lifeguards, it covers CPR, first aid, AED.
And any of the camp staff that we hire, Caroline gets them CPR certified through both the fire department.
Perfect. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I like that you do it live. That's great. All right, guys, any other questions on counselors, lifeguards, or seasonal hiring? Anyone? All right. 10 Hampton Road update.
Yeah, we have a design. We're just wrapping up. We're working with Melissa, David and I, and Caroline we're going to start getting together with RFP, get people together, and hopefully put an RFP out in the next couple weeks. And decide on which model we're going with. Pretty much it. So walls are down, and if anyone is interested in seeing some of the walls down,
Yeah.
we've definitely discovered a couple interesting intricacies where Mike, have you ever seen a header on the floor?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Doug Eastman said the same thing. So it was very interesting. We the kitchen the walls are gone now, and the way they did it, we were like, my foreman called me. He's like, Greg, you gotta come see this. There's a header on the floor, and I went up and looked. And once we actually cleared it, we actually and took it down in the office that will eventually be David's. If you remember the hallway leading to the front, they dropped the ceiling. Well, we found out why, because they put joists and they're carrying a load, because they must have taken a load-bearing wall out right there. It's not, it's fixable, but it's just like, it was kind of probably the cheapest way to do it. Just like, all right, let's put these walls up and so it was very unique, and Doug's like, Doug surmised the same thing I did too. I'm like, all right, it has to be carrying some kind of load. And so, yeah, that was a little eye-opening. And then just to give you an update, I think I mentioned last meeting, the basement had flooded in January. DPW has put in a basement flood alarm now, so if it floods more, but we even monitored it after this last storm and it didn't go. It just, something we found out was the sump pump was airlocked or jammed, or something was jammed, and once we actually freed it up and we got a new check valve in there, it's humming. It's definitely down the line, phase 2, dealing with the drainage on the property to kind of shift it away from the building will be ideal.
Now, where the header is, do we have to run a load-bearing beam now, or? no?
We
Is that-
will have to do probably, some kind of beam.
Okay.
We'll have to go there, but that's,
Down the line.
It's not, I don't think it's as bad, it's just relocating something, but it also, we also were able to discover there was another bathroom upstairs. That is now an office, which is interesting, because they left I could see the toilet flange in between the floor joists. And there's water damage above the slider door going out to the deck, and we were under, there was no window above it.
Makes
Well,
sense now.
there was a bathroom above it. So the things you find out when you start taking apart old walls. So this is, it's fascinating. We did meet with CDFA, who is administering the CCIP. That's the community, CDFA is, I don't know that acronym, Nancy, I'm sorry. But the CCIP is the Community Center Improvement Program that we got the grant through. And they did a site walk with Melissa, David, and myself, and they're very pleased, and they're looking forward to seeing it completed when we complete it.
So there's no backup power there, right?
There's no backup power there as of right now.
So if the power's out, does somebody get notified? Because the sump pump's not gonna be running.
I'm believing the alarm, that's a good question, Mike. I don't.
Great question for Steve.
Yep. I will ask that to her. And the nice thing, you can get the battery backup some pumps, but I don't know how well they work.
Not very well.
Stephanie's like,
Considering we just redid our whole basement,
Yeah.
they don't work real well.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So I do know in helping the fire department with their hazardous, what's the plan we just updated?
Oh, it is mitigation.
Hazard mitigation plan.
Hazardous mitigation plan, because we talked about like, in the past, all right, the rewind. The town has a plan for emergency purposes for if the Seabrook station goes down. So they took it a step further, and we did one, if there's a outbreak or a pandemic or a hazardous spill, how do we deal with it? And one of the things that they added to it is 10 Hampton Road as possibly being a emergency shelter down the line. Not like we're adding this into the design or putting a generator on, but making sure that down the line, if the town wanted to, could put an emergency generator on it. So we could have it as a cooling station or a warming station for people to come in and to stay warm. But that's, so eventually there could be a generator put up there, but not anytime soon, just the FYI. That's a big expense we don't have in our budget.
Yeah. Thank you for the update. Any other questions on Hampton Road, guys? I'd love to do, it'd be great for us to do another field trip over there to see the progression as well. We can figure that out one of these days.
Sure, yeah.
If there's power, we can maybe even meet in that building. Not quite ready yet for meeting time?
No.
All right.
It's
Done?
kind of messy in there.
Yeah. Remember, demo started, so carpets are gone, walls are gone.
My kids' rooms look like there's demo in there 24/7, so it doesn't really. All right. Oh, this sounds exciting. I want to hear more about this,
Yeah.
Steve Tovey.
Who wants to go to
Do
Alaska?
they need chaperones? Or what? I'm happy to chaperone. I may not be a very, responsible one, but I'd love to go chaperone.
So,
Overnight trip to Alaska.
we just booked another trip with Colette Tours. We've recently gone into the overnight trip game. Portsmouth Parks and Recreation also works with Colette. Really great reputation. I'm sure some of you have heard of them. But this new trip, we're going to have a travel presentation that Colette is going to come and present on September 18th at 1:30 in the Senior Center, talk about the trip, answer any questions people have. But yeah, this is going to be in June of 2025. It's a 12-day trip. It includes a cruise as well. 26 meals are included. If anyone's at home watching and they want to lock in their space, you have until December 4th. After that, the availability could change, the rates could change, so I definitely recommend getting your paperwork and at least the deposit in by
What are
that
the
date.
current rates, Dave, on that?
So right now, there's a lot of different rates because there's a lot of different room options, but starting an inside double rate is $6,200.
Does that include airfare?
Yes, everything's included. Airfare, the cruise, the 26 meals, the excursions. They have some add-on excursions too. And I think in this trip too, there's a day of leisure, so you can kind of pick whatever you want to do on that day as well. But they've said the Alaska one's very popular. I've already spoken to some people who dropped off their paperwork for the South Dakota trip that we're doing this June. And they also dropped off paperwork for the European Christmas markets in December, and they're very excited about this trip.
I actually ran into a Colette Tours group doing the European Christmas market tour on my honeymoon in Vienna, so it was really funny, and excellent hotels that they stay at. The tour guides are wonderful. They get fantastic service. You get to see all the top things to do in wherever you are. So highly
We're gonna have
recommend.
to talk, because I've got a girls' 50th trip planned, and we're not sure where to go. This may be right up our alley.
David, is this a trip that people need a passport for by chance?
Yes, the Alaska one, because they're going to be in Canada, they will need a passport. They don't need a visa,
Yeah,
technically, but
they're
they do
going over
encourage you
Canadian
to
Air.
reach out to the consulate but passport definitely. And well, also coming up in 2025 is the whole real ID too. So if you don't have one of those, you'll need a passport as well.
It's exciting. As a representative of Portsmouth, we've been using Colette for years. We have never heard a bad thing. They do airport transfer from your hometown.
Yep, they'll pick us up in Exeter.
Yeah, we've had only positive experiences. We did the Alaska one already. We just got back from Ireland.
Yep.
It's
Hampton has been doing it for years with them. I
Yep.
think he told me he has like over 20 people. I forget where they're going, but yeah, they
Yep.
fill up every year. And we need to pick one more for next year. It's an international one. There's a few options. I can share them all with you, and we can pick.
What's the date
Yeah.
that they would be going?
International.
We were looking at November, right?
I think it was after the June one.
Yeah.
It's like a fall.
So November 2025?
Yeah,
like
I know
that.
Discover Scotland was one, Switzerland. There was a Rome and Amalfi Coast, Italy one. And there's one more missing. but-
And the beauty of it is it's guided travel without being guided. Like, there's always a chaperone, there's always a guide to help you navigate, but then you're set free.
So you're not forced to do.
But you're not like traveling you're not like going to the market as a group of 20. You're just going to Vienna as a group of 20 and going to your hotel. Like, it's guided, but not like
Yeah,
Super guided.
super
Yeah.
guided. Yeah. And I think that's why people like it.
yeah.
It's flexible.
Yeah.
And they offer great recommendations for that, like flex time of like, here's some things that we recommend doing in the area.
And a little fun fact is, one of their most popular trips is New England, and Exeter is actually one of the stops.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hey,
Do we get a discount?
Yeah, we do not. So sometimes if you ever see a tour bus going through, it could be a Colette tour. But yeah, that years ago, they're like, yeah, New England, they go up to the New England coast, and Exeter, Portsmouth, two
We
of
do
the
live in a
stops.
beautiful area. I think we take a.
Well, great job, you guys, developing that trip program, because I think it fits the need as well as being able to potentially generate some extra money on the side.
Thank you.
The info's on the website
Yes.
for that?
And
Yep.
where would that be under?
If you go to our main page, there's a tab trips or a block. You can click on that and scroll towards the bottom, and you'll see the overnight trips. There's a link that brings you to the trip website. If you scroll a little bit further, there's PDFs that has the whole pack in it. It lists like every day what you're doing and all the rates and all that.
David, how are new destinations selected? Like in this case, how was Alaska? Did people say they wanted to go, or did Colette recommend it?
They recommended it, and also just with speaking with a lot of people we see for day trips, and then
Okay.
also some of the people that were interested in overnight trips, they were like, Alaska. It was very clear that Alaska was a top choice.
Okay.
So that was an easy pick. The international one, trying to get more feedback on where people might want to go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if there's somewhere you want to go, tell David.
We had one person.
Skiing in the Italian Alps.
Oh, right. We had one person stop
yeah.
in last
Going?
week and request
We going?
Asia, so that could
Girls
be.
trip?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable traveling alone.
Yeah,
I'd want
that's a great one.
tour, yeah, or something.
Oh,
The language barrier there would be a little
Vietnam,
overwhelming for
Southeast
me.
Asia, but
Yeah.
like guided, I would love
Yeah,
that.
We
that
got
would
the
be nice.
translators, we just got those for Christmas.
Exactly, yeah.
We all just got the translators, so, and they do work, actually. I was
Yes.
really surprised, we weren't sure, but they work great. So, they do not translate teen talk, though. I still have to figure those out on my own. All right, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That was great new info.
course.
New sponsorship.
We're gonna actually ask you to table this one because
Okay.
we have some edits. Just to give you an update, Brooks Bolden, our intern, has developed a beautiful sponsorship package now that we can put out there.
Oh, nice.
There's a couple things that we just want to get signed off by the select board
Okay.
before we put it out there. But also, like, we're very particular on some of the imaging. And so we want to make sure, because it was something where we just didn't want a piece of paper. So here's our sponsors. We
Right.
wanted something that caught the sponsor's attention. And that way we can kind of do more of a sales pitch on our end. Like, this is the sponsorship opportunities you have for Exeter Parks and Recreation. And this is how the money goes to it. So.
Now, are you able to share with us some of the ideas that you guys had? Because I know we've thrown around in the past doing banners or doing something down there. I think that we missed the mark quite a bit by not having them up.
Yep.
up
Banners are one of the things we want to get approval from, hanging both at Brickyard and at the rec park. Tasteful banners, not too big.
Right.
By following the signage, the sponsorship policy, which any banners at Brickyard would be aimed inwards towards the playing field, so it's not distracting drivers. And then, of course, Neptune Radio, as we move forward with that. And was there another?
No, just kind of fine tuning the levels and the pictures and just making sure everything looks good. And if anything needs to be approved as well, the Neptune radio, that definitely needs to be presented too. The select board hasn't heard of that yet. So, but yeah, I'd say it's pretty close to finished.
Question too for banners, and it's actually, I think it was Dover that had this last year. They didn't have a fence surrounding the soccer fields. They had done kind of like 2x4, almost staked in the ground, and it was across the back of the field. So it almost gave the field a perimeter backdrop. So where the kids were sitting, their bleachers, it was like they just had wood with a, and it was planted on there, and it went all the way across, and it looked really nice. It looked like it was supposed to be there. It looked like it was part of the park. And it looked really good, so that's another option too, so you don't, overload the basketball courts or the tennis courts
Sure.
with signs. It's a great way to have it out there, and quite frankly, they're gonna get more exposure by people sitting and watching their kids on the bench, seeing all these behind them too. It looked great. I can try and take a picture if they play up there
Yeah,
again.
that'd be great.
It looked really, really good.
Because we do have that grassy area down the hill
That's
that
it.
if we could block it.
Yeah, any way they can.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the balls are gonna fly over that. We have to leave some openings for them to
Yeah.
get it, but at the same time, there's so much
We
poison
have to leave
ivy.
openings anyways for
Yeah.
during softball season to move the goals
Yeah.
over there anyways.
Yeah, so it's a great idea to think about that, though. Any questions on sponsorship or anything like that, guys? No? All right, how about new business?
Caroline, do you have the numbers for all the programs? No.
I'm sorry,
Do you have the
what?
program numbers?
I can, oh,
No, we just want to just reiterate, sports are back, as Caroline mentioned. Looking at it, it's not a bad thing, but like, we already have shy under 100 kids for track and field, and that's still like weeks away. Pee Wee lacrosse is back up to almost 50.
31.
Yeah.
Yeah, double from last year.
Yeah. T-ball, as we mentioned, spring soccer, there's 170 kids already signed up for spring soccer.
That's fantastic for
I
spring,
mean,
too.
So busy, so many sports teams, and we're happy to say all the sports activities are back. And then our senior programming is still booming. The trips that these two are putting out consistently fill up, and we can do more. David's been doing a really good job on working with the senior council. They're going to come to the select board in a few months to kind of give them a progress report. Maybe someone here first.
Well, I was just going to mention, Bryn came yesterday and spoke at our senior council meeting, and it was so helpful. So thank you again.
Hopefully I fired him up.
It really did, yeah. Yeah, Caroline was there too. I think it's safe to say, like, we all were fired up after hearing everything that worked well in Portsmouth and how you guys went from, where you were to to where you are now with such a nice senior center. So they're ready to go. We have lots of ideas to help fundraise and kind of just, not a lot of people I think know about the senior council and the work that we're doing. So as Greg said, going to the select board just to give them updates. I don't want to get too off topic, but yeah, they have a lot of great ideas, and there has been a lot of age-friendly work that we've been doing in Exeter back to when Melissa was in the department, and we want to just keep continuing on that work. So.
And there's still a lot of people that haven't got our senior resource guide. We gave over 200 away at the polls.
I was going to say, whoever you had working the polls, I had to go and drop food down. They were awesome. They were interactive with people. I heard them answering questions, and they were really excited talking to people as they were coming in that were around their same age, and it was really nice to see.
We're going to get them name badges.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Saying senior council, so
Yeah, that's great.
people can identify them as being a volunteer for our senior council.
It was exciting to see them up, though. It was great to walk in and see them, but then to see them interacting the way that they were. Question on the senior trips for you: is it frowned upon or not really acceptable for a senior to have a caregiver or a child or one of their kids that's older go with them on one of the trips if it's a new trip, like a new group, so that they get comfortable?
Oh, yeah, no,
and
absolutely.
then they can
Yeah.
kind of unleash them.
Yeah.
We've had that
Okay.
too. There's a couple of women that come with their adult children
Okay.
on trips.
Because I've got a great senior that I.
And we
love to bring
say
in.
they're senior trips, but they're really
open
open
to-
to
yeah.
anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. It's good to know.
Do you think perhaps at one of our future meetings, David, you would want to do, or have one of your senior committee members come to the rec board to update us on what
Yeah.
they've been working on?
Definitely.
I think we talked yesterday that you guys are farther along than perhaps people realize in your senior journey, with everything that you have done.
Yep.
And I bet you there's a lot of people who don't know that.
Yes. Yeah, I will definitely extend the invite. Next month, actually, we're having our senior council meeting is going to be at the library with, we've invited all the organizations that are in the senior resource guide because we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of our first year publication. So we want to just edit it if any organization's information needs to be updated, add new organizations that are missing, and then talk about goals for not only our council, but like shared goals that we can collaborate on, and just to give us some more direction too. So, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, whenever you're
invite
ready,
them.
but I think that this board would benefit from
Yeah.
learning more.
I think so too, and it might be a good opportunity maybe to reach out to the directors of some of the senior communities that are out there and let them know that update's going to be that night so that they can tune in.
Oh, yeah, two separate things, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that they can see what's going on and see what is available out there for them, because you're right, I don't think that they know that there's so much available, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you to the team because, what was something that was small that started for senior programming has just blossomed and expanded. I've had multiple people come up to me and talk about how much work the team has done. And I would just like to say thank you on behalf of all of town administration, because it's really something that we haven't had. And in the last 3 years, it is fantastic. So a true heartfelt thank you.
Thank you guys, good job.
Agreed.
Appreciate it. And same with all the youth programs are just blowing up, and it's great. Any other new business?
I have one quick thing.
Sure.
So thanks to all the field request updates, we were actually able to see that like Sundays were pretty open at Rec Park. So we're launching a new adult pickup soccer program. So we currently have pickup basketball and pickup volleyball. So we're going to be launching outdoor soccer. So we'll have a spring season, a summer season, and a fall season. And it's for ages 25 plus. So hopefully not like super NCAA college athletes, but
There'll be one.
A good
a good mix of all
There's
abilities.
always one.
Yeah.
Won't be me.
Right.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. No other new business?
I have one thing I just thought of during the meeting, just to see, with T-ball numbers growing, fields hard to get, Exeter baseball numbers are growing. I would love to explore improving Gilman Park, the existing baseball field, and the possibility of could we do another little baseball field, same size down there, and kind of make that the T-ball rookie league world of Exeter baseball. I think that's just an underutilized park that I'd
Yeah,
love
I
to
agree.
see.
We definitely would have to look at the work plan that we have with
Mm-hmm.
SALT to see if we're able to expand. I know a number of years ago, we asked them for dugouts, and they said no because of the agreement. So it's something we could probably work out with them, because there was an existing baseball field in the green space.
That's what I thought.
When I got here 20 years ago,
Yeah.
21 now. It was always there, so possibly, but that is one of the only parks that allows dogs on leash too. So it's a balancing act, so.
Which is a big issue, but
Yeah.
just something to, food for thought.
Yeah, we've been looking at that, and there's stuff down the line we're working on as well, for the Park Improvement Fund to do some stuff down there as well.
Is Gilman Park off leash?
No, on leash.
Oh, okay. I was like-
Oh, one of the only parks that you can take.
Take
Okay.
dogs,
I
yes.
was like, wait,
So we're like, did he just say
Okay,
it's
thank
off
you.
leash?
No, people should keep their dogs on leash and under control.
At
I
all
do want to
times.
let the dog lovers know that I just found out too that the Shogun restaurant, the old Shogun restaurant.
Yeah, I
saw that
article.
is looking to
Yes.
contract into turning the old Shogun restaurant into an indoor dog park. So I know we don't have one in Exeter, but there is one potentially coming that is indoor year-round, and it's going to be huge. And I'm glad to see them using that space. It's right off the highway. You see it right. Yeah, what's that?
It's part of a restaurant.
Oh, no, but the restaurant shut down.
No, the dog park will be part of the restaurant.
No, it's not. Oh, well, that's just not right.
I think it's like a bar.
That's not what it was said. It was said
what
that
do
it was
they-
going to shut down and do that.
It's like a,
Oh, for
there's a
long
trend
God.
in the
Well,
South where
there's
they
gotta
have
be some
like
sort of,
bars and dog parks together.
Yeah, Shogun shut. It's not open.
2017.
But they specifically have said the dogs will not be in the restaurant part.
Oh, well, that's not what I read the other day. So I take that back, people. That is not
But I was
sanitary.
just looking
So I do not support that. I love dogs, but they need to stay away from my food. All right, my friends. No old business. Think we've, oh, we do.
Yes, reminder, Easter egg hunt. Well, egg hunt is this Saturday. We are gonna evaluate the fields, because obviously with the last storm, it's kind of soggy. So if we have to pivot, it will be on the tennis courts and basketball courts.
That's a fun idea.
But this year, we have expanded the older kids to give them a challenge. We're gonna hide the eggs and play in a playground.
Oh, as long as they're not
Yeah.
real eggs.
So grades 3
Good luck
and
finding
up will be a little more challenging instead of just scattering them on the field and having them run. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find eggs this summer.
Yeah,
That's fun.
that's a good idea.
During the demo.
Yeah, right?
That's
Yeah.
a really fun idea.
Nice.
All right, any other old business?
No?
Oh, you know it's that time. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
I second.
hot dog. We are adjourned.
Indeed.
It's almost
Thank
an
you
hour.
for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv. Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.